The house was always full, yet somehow it was the quietest place she knew. Not the peaceful kind of quiet, the heavy kind, where words sat in throats, where footsteps were cautious, where everyone spoke around each other, but never to each other. Anaya stood in the kitchen doorway, watching her mother stir tea that had already boiled dry. "Ma," she said softly, "it'll burn." Her mother nodded, but didn't turn around. It always started like this. Small moments, missed moments, unheard moments, and over time they became everything. A family built on sacrifice. Their family was respected in the neighborhood, a decent house, a stable income, well-mannered children. From the outside, they were the picture of success. Her father, Mahesh, believed deeply in one thing. Control meant care. He had grown up poor, too poor to dream, too poor to choose. So when he became successful, he decided his children would never struggle the way he did, even if it meant deciding their lives for them. "What do you want to become?" he asked them as children. Before they could answer, he'd add, "Something secure." Her mother, Sushma, had once wanted to study further, to work, to travel, but marriage arrived first, then responsibility, then silence. She became the emotional glue of the house, holding everyone together while slowly disappearing herself.
The daughter who didn't fit. Anaya was different. Not rebellious, not disrespectful, just different. She loved writing, stories, emotions, questions, things her father called impractical. "Writers don't earn," he'd say without looking up from the newspaper. "Dreams don't pay bills." She learned early that explaining herself only led to disappointment, so she stopped. She smiled, she nodded, she obeyed, but inside, something quietly folded in on itself. The son who carried pressure. Her younger brother, Rohan, was the golden child, not because he wanted to be, but because he had to be. He studied what his father chose, spoke when allowed, succeeding became his personality. Everyone praised him. No one asked if he was tired. At night, Anaya sometimes heard him pacing his room, whispering formulas like prayers. Failure wasn't an option in this house, and neither was honesty. Cracks in the walls. The first real crack came when Anaya was offered a scholarship, a writing program, abroad. She held the letter in her shaking hands for hours before showing her parents. Her mother read it with shining eyes. Her father read it once, then again, then folded it neatly. "No," he said. One word. "No discussion," he added. Something inside Anaya snapped, not loudly, but completely. "For once," she said, voice trembling, "can you listen?" Her father stood up. "I have listened my whole life," he said sharply, "to responsibility, to reality." "What about us?" she asked. Silence. That night, Anaya packed a small bag and left. The silence after she left. Days passed, then weeks. Her room remained untouched. Her mother set aside food for her out of habit. Her father said nothing. But the house changed. The quiet grew heavier. Rohan stopped smiling. He began failing exams, just slightly at first, then more. One night, he broke down. "I can't breathe," he told his mother. "I don't know who I am without marks." Sushma held her son and cried for the first time in years, not softly, not quietly. The mother's awakening. That night, something in Sushma woke up. She looked around the house she had given her entire life to and realized how empty it felt. She thought of Anaya, of her own unfinished dreams, of years of silence mistaken for peace. The next morning, she spoke. "Mahesh," she said firmly, "we are losing our children." He looked up, surprised. "We already lost one," she continued, "and if we don't change, we'll lose the other, while he's still here." Her husband had no answer. For the first time, his authority felt weak. The father faces himself. Mahesh didn't sleep that night. He sat in the living room, surrounded by proof of success and failure. He remembered his own father, strict, distant, proud. He had sworn to be better. Somehow he had become the same. Control had felt like protection, but now it felt like fear. Fear of losing control, fear of vulnerability, fear of listening. The call came.
Unexpectedly, Anaya had collapsed from exhaustion. Nothing serious, but enough. Mahesh and Sushma rushed to the hospital. She looked small on the bed, tired. When she opened her eyes and saw her parents, she turned away. Mahesh sat beside her. "I don't know how to say this," he said quietly. "I was wrong." Anaya froze. "I thought providing was enough," he continued. "But I forgot, children don't need directions, they need trust." Tears slid down her face, not from anger, from relief. Anaya came home, not because she was told to, but because she was invited. Things didn't magically become perfect, but they became honest. Rohan changed his field. Sushma enrolled in a course she'd postponed for decades. Mahesh learned to ask instead of command. Dinner conversations returned. Laughter returned. Listening returned. The house slowly remembered how to breathe. Families don't need perfection, they need presence. They don't need control, they need conversation. And sometimes the bravest thing a family can do is admit they were wrong, because a house that listens becomes a home again.